The tragedy started playing out shortly after 1:30 a.m. Police received a frantic 911 call.
All I know is the call came in from a cell phone. I don't know who made that call at this time, but it was a call stating that there had been people shot inside the residence. Several people shot inside the home.
As officers rushed to the scene, they saw a man leaving the home with a gun. At least one officer fired at the suspect, but missed. He was caught a short time later. What police found inside was gut-wrenching.
Shock, disbelief, a great deal of sadness.
A child and woman were flown to a Tulsa hospital. That child would later die. The woman, police say, regained consciousness. Later in the morning, investigators went to great lengths to block the heartbreaking scene of the victims being carried out of their home. Police say the suspect, Jaren Pridgeon, isn't talking.
I haven't had contact with him. I just know that there was an attempt made, as there would be in an investigation like this, and he has chosen to not cooperate with the investigation at this time.
Unbelievable story out of Oklahoma. 6 people, including 5 young children, shot and killed. Horrific massacre. Take a look at the crime scene here. This is horrible in this neighborhood. What happened inside that home, unthinkable tonight. But as you heard, a suspect has been arrested. 5 children were killed. There they are. Jelaya, Jadis, Harmony, Nevaeh, Quaidance, ages 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9. This is beyond. We don't know much about the why of it all, but we did learn a lot more today during a press conference that was held by the Muskogee Police. It was a news conference about the shooting and the suspect and this incredible tragedy today in Oklahoma. Let's take a listen.
As I mentioned earlier, 5 of the children are deceased. 1 was transported to the hospital and died later. And then there's another victim that's at a Tulsa hospital. The suspect was taken into custody a short time later this morning, and his name is being released at this time. It's Jaren Dejean Pridgeon, and his date of birth is 3/21 of 1995.
What is his relationship to this family?
We don't have that information at this time. We just know that they all lived in the home.
Can you tell us if there was a relationship, though? This wasn't just a random...
It was not random, obviously, because they all did live in this home together. But as far as what all of those relationships look like, we just don't know that yet. As you know, the crime scene investigators just left the scene maybe 20 minutes ago. So they have a lot of information still to gather at this time, and so we just don't have answers to those questions yet.
Do you have the names of the adult victims?
No, we do not have that information yet. As you can imagine, we want to make sure that every family member knows what has happened today. And so until we are sure that that's happened, we're not going to be able to release any names at this time.
Was there anybody else in the house at the time that was uninjured?
I don't know the answer to that yet.
Can you release the names, or not the names, I'm sorry, the ages of the children?
I don't have that yet either.
Can you talk about the condition of the survivor so far?
We know that that person is conscious, so I would say stable condition at this time, and we don't have anything further on that person's condition yet.
Have you all been able to talk with her?
I don't know. I know there were some investigators that were going to go to Tulsa, and I don't know if they've had an opportunity to do that or not.
Has Jaren been interviewed?
Not at this time. I don't believe that he was cooperating.
You do believe this to be a family?
Yes, that's correct.
What goes through your mind as a leader here in Muskogee when something like this happens in your community?
Shock, disbelief, a great deal of sadness. As you all have to cover this, so you have to hear details all the time too as reporters. It never is easy to talk about these kind of stories. It's difficult. We're concerned about our officers, the families. It affects our whole community. So just a lot of sadness today.
Can you expand on the officers? We've all been worried about them to go in and see. I mean, this really was a mass murder scene.
Right. So starting very early, I think I got called a little bit before 2 a.m. this morning. And what I talked about earlier is our peer support team that we have. So all of us came out to help with that. We talked to all of the officers. We have 2 clinicians that come in that are therapists. Everyone is talked to before they leave the station today to go home. And we just make sure that they're okay. They're as okay as they can be having to work something like this. And we will continue with that. It's a process. So there'll be more follow-up. There'll be some debriefings that take place. There'll be other peer support people that come in and help us with that because it is such a large amount of people from our department that are affected.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how many officers actually saw this?
I don't have a total number. I can tell you that everyone that was working night shift for sure went inside the home. And then obviously our crime scene, all of our investigators and their captains and sergeants and lieutenants. So I don't have an exact number, but it's a large amount of officers from our department.
Lynn, can you confirm all victims were shot inside the home?
Yes, all victims were shot.
How did you guys get the call about this?
It was a 911 call that came in from a cell phone, so I don't have the information as to whose cell phone or who made that call yet.
Do you know if neighbors heard shots fired?
I don't know that yet either.
Is he known in the Muskogee area? Have you dealt with him before?
I'm not familiar with him. I'm not sure if he's from Muskogee. I haven't had an opportunity to really look into that part of anything at this point. It's not a name I'm familiar with.
Were all of the victims found in the same room?
I don't have that information. I don't know that.
What was the exact time the call went out?
1:30 this morning.
Is this strictly a Muskogee police operation or other agencies helping?
It's strictly Muskogee Police Department.
And the injuries and the deaths remain same, right? 5 children.
And one adult.
One adult, the other one.
And the other one remains in the
And
hospital.
you don't know if anybody else was in the home at the time of the shooting?
No, I do not.
But that female victim's now awake and talking, or at least awake.
I don't have any information on the victim other than someone was transported to a Tulsa hospital, but I don't know. I don't have anything further as far as gender or any of that at this point.
Is your suspect being cooperative at all?
No, he's not.
If you had to describe his mood, does he not care?
I don't know. I haven't had contact with him. I just know that there was an attempt made, as there would be in an investigation like this, and he has chosen to not cooperate with the investigation at this time.
Do you need any state resources to come in and help you? Are you OSBI or?
No, we have all the technology and all the training for our investigators that's needed. If we thought we had a need for that, our chief would request it, but our people do a fantastic job, and so all of that has been taken care of at this point. We've had lots of agencies reach out to us for support, peer support, and we appreciate that, and we thank everyone for that, and there may be a time when we need assistance for that. But right now, we have all of that covered and everything's okay.
Can you remember anything like this ever happening in this community?
No, I cannot. Not since I've been here, and I've been here 16 years.
Has the gun been recovered?
I'm not sure. I know they recovered some evidence. And again, I like I talked about earlier, I'm on the peer support team too, so I've been working on that this morning. And I just don't know what all evidence was collected.
This may have been covered. What type of relationship did the suspect have with the victims?
I don't think that's been determined yet either. And if it has, I don't have that information.
I apologize if this was covered in a previous news conference. What got your attention to this house initially? Was there a 911 call? Were neighbors hearing fighting? Or
There was a 911 call made to our 911 center.
can you tell us the nature of that? Was someone needing help, or?
All I know is the call came in from a cell phone. I don't know who made that call at this time, but it was a call stating that there had been people shot inside the residence. Several people shot inside the home.
Not just people. You're talking about 5 children. I mean, how anyone could shoot a child and then commit a mass murder of 5 children. I think it's beyond anything we can even think tonight, but please keep these 5 beautiful children in your thoughts and in your prayers tonight.